Guys, welcome to the Friday Night Live show. This is another awesome show. I'm Stuey V. I'm your host tonight. I'm your MC, your DJ, your producer, your ETA, your bit everything really. We're going to have some awesome fun tonight. We've got an amazing group tonight coming in. Two amazing guests we've got on the show. This is season 1, episode 7. That's right, season 1, episode 7. There are 12 episodes per season. So we're getting close to the end of season 1 very soon. We're going to have about a 2 or 3 week break in between there to concrete some guests that will be coming on the show eventually as well. And then basically we're going to go into season 2 in a few weeks after that. But welcome once again to the show. We have got the amazing, the unbelievable Torres is in the studio, in the green room, and he is waiting actually to come on the show. Wait a minute, yep. 1 second. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I know. Yeah, let me do my little bit first, and then I'll get him in. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I'll. I hate it when they hang up. They always hang up on me. Oh well. Anyway, all right. So, unfortunately, let me go through a couple of things. There was supposed to be a special guest tonight. Unfortunately, there's no special guest. But that's just the way it works. I can't announce who the special guest was, but there's no special guest tonight, unfortunately. But we have two major artists on the show tonight. As I said to you earlier, got Torres, and then we've got the amazing Bruno Nesci as well. So two good friends of mine, two fantastic guys, very humble, very down to earth, amazing guys. So you'll love them. Now, a couple of things I'd like to say. Apologies for the Cody Ray Slaughter situation. Now, I announced that 29th of March, 29th of May, he is actually performing on the show. Unfortunately, due to miscommunication and scheduling issues, we had to postpone the interview. and he will be coming on probably in a few months' time. So we'll have a look at it. Maybe season 2, maybe season 3. We don't know yet. So let's see how we go. There is a couple of things I do want to announce as well. Now, if you want to donate, if you do want to donate to that Friday Night Live show, please go on to paypal.me/Friday Night Live show. That's paypal.me/Friday Night Live show. There is sponsorship packages available as well for advertising. So please ensure that you either send me a message or just go on and feel free to donate if you wish to. There's no need to, but if you want to donate, then every little bit does help towards the cost of running the studio. Now, there's a few birthdays in the house tonight as well. I'd like to say a massive happy birthday to Jackie Bridges from New Zealand. A massive happy birthday to her. And also a massive happy birthday to Keely, my cousin in the UK. It's her birthday as well today. And a massive happy birthday to my nephew, Jordan Rocha. Now, Jordan is he's an amazing kid. He was on my bridal party, and he's a fantastic guy. So I thought I'll do something for you guys for your birthday. So, you know, this one is obviously especially for you. Hope you enjoy it. This is good. You enjoy this.
Hola. Yeah! It's your birthday. We're here to party and sing to you. He's from me. Hope you are bueno. The fun will rain the whole day through. From the Gulf up to the mountains, the city lights and fountains, we hope your birthday's excellent. You are another year older, so perhaps you should
be generally awesome.
'Cause today is your day. Hola. You deserve a grand fiesta, and later on siesta, and the best of everything. Sí, señor.
Had to do it. Happy birthday again to Jackie Bridges, to Keely, my cousin, and also to my nephew, Jordan Rocha. Happy birthday to him as well. Now, also, I'd like to say a massive thank you to a few people that actually put a few donations in as well to the Friday Night Live show. I'd like to say thank you to, when it comes up on the screen, it's actually running a little bit slow tonight, so let's see if it comes up. Here we go, just waiting. Oh, it looks like we're frozen. Are we frozen with us? Yeah, it looks like we're frozen here. Sorry about this, guys. A few technical issues once again, but hopefully we will. Here we go. All right, now I see it. Welcome. Thank you so much for your donation for BVDs. Now, these ladies here, they travel around the world watching the different ETAs and supporting the ETAs as well. That's to Beth Trahan, Veronica Dupree, and Debbie Faugau. So hopefully I pronounced your surnames right. But Beth, Veronica, and Debbie, there you go. The BVDs. Thank you so much, ladies, for your donation. Thank you so much to Brooke and Christine Readiness. Readiness. Yeah, I think I should pronounce it, Brooke. She's one of my biggest fans as well, same as Christine. Thank you so much for your donation. And thank you to Ross Whitehead as well for your donation as well. I really do appreciate all that, guys. Now, we're not going to waste any more time. All right, we're not going to waste any more time, all right? So, hopefully, we're... Yeah, I know he's come. I know he's in the green room. I know it's early over there. He's got up early for me. Yeah. Okay, I'm hurrying up. Yeah. All right. He's got again. All right, ladies. We're gonna have some fun. I tell you, we're having some fun. It's all about having fun. That's what it's all about. All right. Now my first guest tonight. Amazing guy, multi-talented actor, singer, songwriter, musician. He's just an overall amazing guy. Elijah, just watch a little bit of a snippet of the man himself. Here you go.
Ask him much of you. Well, it's a bigger world around. I will do it. I will do it. I'll play it. You're just a natural born behind. We will hold you to the top. But I ain't really, baby,
So I was sitting back there and I was actually dancing along and I was actually singing as well. Legend, please welcome to the show the one and only, the man himself, Mr. Ted Torres Martin. Ted, welcome to the show.
How are you, Stewie? Thank you for having me, man.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
You're
you.
looking suave, mate. I know it's early over there, isn't it?
It's 8:15 in the morning, which I'm usually on like my second dream by now. I don't get up till around 11 probably usually, but it's good. It's good. I'm in good company with you here and Bruno. So.
Fantastic. No, look, so first and foremost, thank you so much for coming on the show and spending the time and getting up early for us as well. Everyone around Australia and around and watching the show, and you're going to love it as well. So absolutely love you.
Thank you, man.
Now let's get start from the beginning. Now Now, Ted, you have an amazing career. You've been all over the world performing. Now, before we get to that, let's talk about your childhood. Now, when were you shaking and singing and that sort of thing at a young age? When did it all begin?
Probably in the womb. Yeah, my parents were both in the music industry, actually. And so I grew up around in a family of musicians, around musicians, and around a lot of people that my parents knew in the music industry. And so I grew up singing, playing instruments, all kinds of stuff, doing little school plays and stuff like that. So it's always, music's always been in my blood. But I started really getting into Elvis around 11 years old, probably.
Wow, so young. So when you were in high school, were you the kid that everybody hang out with? You the heartthrob of the school, like the singer, do the old.
No, man, I was in the school orchestra. I played classical viola for about 8 years in the classical section, actually, and I was the weird skinny kid with a big pompadour all the time, just with his head down because I'm really shy. So that was me pretty much. A lot like what they say Elvis was like. I was really shy. I had a big greasy pompadour and and I sang, play guitar.
Now, so obviously you grew up with music constantly in your household. Now, what genres did you listen to in your house? So obviously you grew up with a family that loved the music and everything. So what genres did you actually grow up with?
Oh man, I listened to got some pots and pans going over here. I listened to everything, man. Growing up, anywhere from Dean Martin, Tom Jones, to Spanish music, to classical, to then myself discovering everything that I liked, alternative music or just rock and blues and country and whatever, man. I listened to, trust me, everything. Yeah.
So when you heard first Elvis sing and when you had the love for him, what was the feeling? What was your first? Okay, I love asking this question now. So what was the first song? Do you remember the first song you actually heard him sing?
Yes, it was Silver Bells. Silver Bells, right. Christmas song. My dad was in the garage actually. This was before I really got into Elvis. I was around probably 8 years old or so. My dad was in the garage cleaning out the garage, and he was like playing cassettes and stuff like that and trying to throw away some stuff. And he pressed play on something, and I heard Silver Bells echoing from the garage down to my room. And I went to see what he was doing, and I said to my dad, "Who is that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Elvis Presley. He's a really famous singer, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff." So that's the first time I ever heard Elvis. The second time I ever rediscovered Elvis was I was 11 or 12 years old. I was staying at my aunt's house in Fort Lauderdale. That's where I used to live here in Florida. And my cousin had promised me to take me out because I was just a kid. My cousin was older than me, but my cousin wound up going out and with some friends and meeting a girl, and he never came back home. So so my aunt, she felt bad for me, so she told me, "You can stay up all night and watch TV, do whatever you want." So as I'm flipping through the channels, I saw this really cool guy with this really cool head of hair singing songs, this black and white movie, and it was Jailhouse Rock. And I just kept on flipping back and forth, and I was finally glued, man. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. I couldn't stop listening to him. And it was just after that, for my next birthday, I wanted an Elvis CD, man, and my parents were shocked. They were like, "What?" So it was really cool. Yeah, that's how I got the jokes.
Beautiful. Yeah, awesome. It's just when it's in your blood and when you just, he just had that something about him. Just you listen to the first few lines and you just infatuated by him, weren't you? Just his voice, his look, just everything about him. It's amazing.
And it was the hair. It was the hair too. I was like, I want hair like that. And after that, I started growing out my hair. So it's like, a lot of hair products. My parents hated me probably at that age.
But the hairdresser loved you, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, when did you first make your decision to pay tribute to Elvis? Like, what age were you? How did it all start when you made that move?
Well, originally, this was not my plan. My plan was to go into original music as a songwriter, start songwriting, and just try to get a record deal and try to do my own music. And
you've written a few songs, though, haven't you?
I've written a lot. Yeah, I've written a lot.
Yeah,
and now that we're going through this, the whole world's going through this whole deal. I've been writing more and trying to get myself, before I get too old, trying to get myself into that songwriting mode and see if we can get something else going with it. And I got a good couple of leads, before all this stuff happens. So hopefully they'll still work after this. But I intended to do original music. I was almost signed to a development deal by Sony at the age of 26 or so. Wow. Close to 27, 26, yeah. And I had to turn it down because they wanted ownership of my songs. It's something I didn't want to do. My attorney advised me not to do that. So I lost that. So I was still going around playing with my band. We were doing pretty good. I had really long hair down to here, and I was doing Elvis just part-time. I was hiding my hair underneath my wigs and stuff like that, So, but finally, I started doing more Elvis as I was doing the original stuff too. And it started taking me away more. So it's like the band unfortunately disbanded because they couldn't deal with it, I guess. And more of this started happening. And finally, I quit my job. I said, I'm doing this full time. So luckily I've been doing this full time for about 15 and a half years, probably full time. So I've been really lucky. Yeah, very fortunate.
As well. It's just, and do something you love as well full time. It's just when it's in, just amazing.
Oh yeah,
just
definitely.
No explanation for it, is it? Just, a lot of people wake up and they say, oh yeah, I'm going to work today. We wake up and say, oh, I'm going to work today.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So now, and we're making that decision of moving into that career of being an Elvis tribute artist now, paying tribute to Elvis, should I say. Now, I'm going to go through some of your accolades here as well. Now, 2011, Las Vegas Hilton's Heart of the King Awards, and 2014, again, the same award on the same stage Elvis performed on. Is that right?
Yeah, the Vegas Hilton stage, which is the Westgate Resort and Casino in Vegas now. So, yeah, it's the same stage that Elvis performed in, and that was actually the Heart of the King Award was actually 2014, but I had won Best Vocals there, like previously, like 2011, 2012, something like that. I won Best Vocals at a contest there on the same stage when it was LVH in Vegas Hilton. So yeah, it was. It's unreal. It's unreal to be there. It's quite the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been. So how did it actually feel to win them, though? Like the shock of it all is, in such a small period of time in your career, and all of a sudden you're winning these awards straight away. It's just, how did it feel?
I didn't expect any of that, to tell you the truth. Because it wasn't really easy at the start. I mean, it was I'll be honest here that the industry can be very political. It can be very political a lot of times. It can be political when just an example, when a new guy comes in and a new guy is doing a good job, there's certain people that try to rain on your parade. There's certain people that tell you that you're not good enough, you're not doing it right, and you're going back in your mind replaying everything, and then you're like, well, I've been studying Elvis for years. I know I'm doing something right here. It's like, how are you going to tell me this? But it's just because they're trying to hold you back. And it came a time where I just broke out and I just didn't want to listen to anybody at all. And I just started doing it and doing what I felt like doing. And that's when I started getting ahead. When I started not listening, when I started telling people, I know what I'm doing, so just give me a chance. And finally people listened to me, but it wasn't really easy at the start. I lost a lot of contests for whatever reasons they were, when you don't do a good job, you don't do a good job. So, sometimes I didn't feel like I put my 100% into it, but there was times that I thought that I did, and it didn't get me anywhere. But eventually it started happening, and eventually things like that started happening. And like perfect example, that what you just brought up, the Vegas Best Vocals, like in 2011, 2012, I was completely shocked. I didn't even know until I walked out of the room. And I was out of the showroom, and there was a piece of paper on the door, and a friend of mine, she said, "Congratulations." I said, "For what?" She goes, "Look." And it said, "Best vocal winner, Ted Torres." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
And it was, man, I wanted to faint, man.
I bet you did, yeah, I bet you did. Now, in 2014, you also recorded the vocals for the short biography indie film Nobody, which was about Elvis's career and his rise to stardom. Now, Legend, here's a bit of a short interview about that very same movie that he actually did as well, the indie film.
Sorry.
So have a watch of this.
Sure.
With you. Well, it's been a long run since we started production. The song we're recording tonight is the old Teresa Brewer ballad, Till I Waltz Again With You. Till I kiss you once again. Our story takes place during Elvis's senior year at Humes High School, and this was 2 months before he even walked into Sun Studio for the first time. Break your heart and mine, the minute when it's time to go. Remember, dear. He's not only standing in the studio where Elvis started, but on the very X marks the spot that Elvis recorded in. Till I waltz again with you. We're in the heart of what rock and roll became, and blues and rockabilly, and it's just such a rich history and culture here, and I don't think there would be any more appropriate place to record this film soundtrack. For you are my guiding light.
Wow, that would have been great fun.
Oh man, that there was amazing. That was my buddy, a film producer, Bill Bryan, by the way, and he did a fantastic job with that project. Man, Nobody was such a great short film to be a part of, and they won some. We won some awards actually with that short film, and
all right,
and that right there, I was at Sun Studios recording with Matt Spang, I think is his last name. He is a Grammy Award producer, Grammy Award winning producer. He's worked with everybody since then, and he produced my song "Till Once Again with You" that Elvis performed at the talent show. Actually, that was my interpretation that I put together of what I thought Elvis would have sounded like at the time. And to record at Sun Studios was completely amazing. And my buddy Drake Milligan played young Elvis. I provided the voice for the film, and he went on to do Sun Records, the series for CMT here in the United States. I mean, he's also in Nashville now, about to get a record deal, and he's a songwriter out there right now. So
wow,
he's doing
fantastic. Yeah, it's just when I heard that, because I actually didn't know you did that indie film, and I didn't realize. I've seen snippets of it as well, and I didn't realize you did that. And when I actually look at doing my research on you, I was like, wow, he actually. And I watched that interview, and I was like, wow, amazing voice, just awesome.
Oh man,
my God.
Thanks,
so
man.
much we don't know about you so far. But it's good it's good for you to be on the show to tell people what you've done, because people don't realize this sort of stuff, you know.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and I'm not a bragger, so I don't go around bragging about what I do. I just, if people know. If they don't, well, what can you do, but but thanks for having me.
I'll brag it for you. It's all right.
It's always nice to talk about things, yeah, but thank you.
No problem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would actually want everybody to watch this little video here. I'm not going to say... Oh, before we do go into the video, though, let me say happy anniversary.
Oh, man, thank you.
And your wife is today. There's your beautiful wife, Alison Walker Torres.
Thank you. Yeah, that's her. There she is.
Happy anniversary. And I know you celebrated yesterday, and you've taken the time out today to do the show, so I appreciate that on the anniversary as well.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm celebrating today too. I'm cooking her the real dinner today. Yesterday was just like an appetizer. The real dinner's happening today after she comes home from work. So she's running around somewhere here getting ready to go to work. So
Awesome, awesome.
Thank
Right,
you.
so let's go into another video here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just have a watch of this. Have a watch of this.
Everybody says they want to see you, but the bottles are working on the train.
Oh man. You there? It's crazy to watch myself move around like that, man.
Bear with us. Here we go. We're back again. All right, there you go. Hopefully you're back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay, all right, beautiful. My end is frozen. It's going a bit slow, so the internet system obviously is running completely slow at the moment. So
Yeah.
unfortunately. Now that was in 2016. Was that was Las Vegas, right?
That was Vegas, actually. Yeah, that was in Las Vegas. I think during the Images of the King concert contest that I won in Vegas to qualify for Memphis. Yeah.
Yes. So was that the world champion? Because there was two festivals. There was one, and then you did the world champion one as well, didn't you?
Yeah. The Vegas one was the qualifier at Sam's Town,
right.
and I won that, and then I moved on to Memphis, and then I was fortunate enough to win the Images of the King World Championship in Memphis that year.
Wow, just unbelievable. Now I've got a little snippet video of that win as well, that announcement. So I'm having, if you're watching the show, I'm having issues with our internet at the moment. Obviously, I'm freezing up on this end.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything that's going on, so I do apologise, Ted, for this.
It's okay.
Let me just try and reset, but please stay online, and I will be back in. Well, I'm trying to reset it now, and it's not resetting for me. So bear with me here. Okay, all right, that looks that's a little bit better now. There you go, that's reset. All right,
There we go.
fantastic. Sorry about that.
Your mouth is in sync now, so we're good.
That's good. So let's go back to Images of the King. That's a world champion. That was an amazing win for you. And you won that in 2016. Now here's the actual snippet. Yeah, so here's the snippet of the actual win itself.
First place is $5,000. We'll do the first place first? Okay. All righty. And whoever wins is going to buy me something to eat. You know what? Potato skins and chicken wings is $40. That's way too much money. Okay, here we go. First place, $5,000. Goes to Ted Torres. Second place, and $3,000 goes to D. Wright. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Oh man. think you're there, Stuey. I think you're somewhere.
Is it coming through now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. All right, you can hear me. All right, just
You're
we'll catch up.
smoking,
Video
bro.
will catch up. Video will catch up. So, how was the feeling like that announcement and world champion for Images of the King? How was it feeling like the nerves before you get on stage, the nerves when you're on stage? Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's contests something that I don't do anymore, man. I haven't done them in years, but it's just a nerve-wracking experience, man. I honestly, I don't enjoy that feeling, man. But it's like it's also nerve-wracking that you're competing with good friends. Like D-Light's a good buddy of mine, and guys like that, man. And he went later on to win Images of the King World Championship as well. But it's just I was nervous sitting here watching it now. So
Sweaty palms.
oh man, yeah, for sure. But it was quite the thrill.
I saw you perform in 2017 when you came back and performed the Images of a King, because I was actually in Memphis for the 40th anniversary, and I saw you perform in the theatre, as well, Daily Theatre.
Okay.
So, and that was just unbelievable. I loved the show and loved the performance and everything as well, and that was actually unbelievable as well.
Thank you.
Now
man.
let's move on here. Let's move on here now. In 2018, you performed in Italy with a 65-piece orchestra.
Yeah.
God.
That was absolutely incredible. As a classically trained musician myself, man, to just sit there and listen to these people just put their heart and soul into this concert, and not only just the concert, just like Elvis music, hear that big sound coming out from behind you. It was just it was a dream come true, man. It was a dream come true, and it was just absolutely amazing. And in Italy, you know, to say the least, what a beautiful country. You know, it's like I love Italy, and I have some Italian blood in my family as well. So it's like, you know, it was beautiful to be there. It's just an absolutely one of the best experiences in my career, that's for sure, hands down. And I want to thank Mr. David Fernandez and for having me there, from BNF Entertainment and Eva Brand. It was just absolutely incredible, And the fan club, the Italian fan club, Max and Ale Copertino there in Italy, man, it was they're awesome. So
awesome. Now, so you also actually I've got a snippet of that very same concert, so I might play a bit of a snippet from that as well. Yeah, well, give me 1 second. I'm going to play that right now.
What has he got? Got himself, and he has not to say the word he truly feels, and not the words of what it is. The record shows I to the blows, and did it my way. The record shows I to the blows, and did it my way.
That would have been, I tell you, unbelievable.
I was shaking in my boots, man. I can tell you that, man. Just the amount of people that was there, man, and just that big sound, and the conductor, he was just absolutely amazing. And all the musicians, I want to thank them again. They're just incredible. Hopefully, I can do that again at some point there. I was supposed to do it again last year, but I wasn't able to because of another engagement. But hopefully, I'll do it again at some point.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll be staying right beside you and supporting you as well. Definitely.
Thanks, Stu.
Now, in 2019, also, you performed to a sold-out crowd at the Westgate as well.
Yes.
That was unbelievable. And that was the Westgate Las Vegas Resort, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Elvis's first performance in 1969. Now, when he performed in the month of August in 69, he had 57 sold-out shows. Now, you performed one show and you reenacted that whole concert, but you sold out that show as well. And
We did.
You had some special singers as well.
Yeah, we did two shows and we were able to sell it the two shows. We were supposed to do four, but
Wow.
they didn't think the middle of the week would have been, a good thing. It might have been, it might have not, but we wound up doing two shows. We sold out both shows, and as everybody know, the Westgate used to be the old Las Vegas Hilton, the International Hotel. So again, back on that stage once again, and yes, I had my good friends with me. Portia, Estelle, and Kelly, the Sweet Inspirations. They were back on stage with me for the first time in 3 years almost 3 years that they hadn't performed together, I think. So they were able to be there with me back together on that stage, and Estelle back on that stage again where it all started. And it was just it was the anniversary of the concerts in '69. It was the anniversary of the full structure of the building as well. And it was just an honor to be chosen to do that and to be able to do that. And there's so many Vegas entertainers there, and such great people from all over that came to see it. And I want to thank them all again. It was just it was a spiritual experience because I got to use Elvis's elevator. I got to use his dressing room again,
Wow.
and all that kind of stuff. And it was just my mind is blown. It was just incredible, man. I hope to do it again, and I'll be there again. So,
So even stepping out on that stage, you look around and you go, "Am I really here?" And you'd want to pinch yourself. Am I really here? Is this really happening to me?
yeah,
And it's just unbelievable. It's just, just amazing, amazing.
it is.
It's had such an amazing career, and to all these shows, be on the stages and just to perform with some of these artists, it's just astonishing.
Thank you.
Now you also came to Australia. You headlined last year the Parks Elvis Festival as well.
I
You had
did.
a very warm welcome over here in Australia.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. Headline Parks, and the people were just absolutely amazing over there in Australia. I want to thank you guys all in Australia. I love every single one of you, and I hope to come back someday again. I did a small tour before that as well, and I had a great time doing that tour. And the shows at Parks, they were absolutely amazing. Everybody treated me so well. Everybody was so welcoming and so beautiful. Unfortunately, I caught a little bug before I got there, and my last show, I'm very hard on myself. My last show wasn't, the way it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I contracted a really bad respiratory infection, and I came home. I was in bed for like a week and 20,000 antibiotics. I was just a wreck, but we managed to get through just about everything, and it was just a great experience all around. So I hope to come back someday to Australia. I loved it. It was just absolutely amazing. So.
And they'll all have open arms for you as well when you come back. So
Oh,
definitely.
thank you. I hope so. Don't throw tomatoes at me or anything like that.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching the show, if you've got any questions for Ted, please put those in the comments now, and I will ask Ted as well during the show. So if you've got any comments, if you've got any questions or anything at all that you want me to ask Ted, please put those in the comments now, and I will ask Ted straight away. Now, besides being an accomplished ETA, you've also had a lot of acting skills as well in stage plays, which is like Biloxi Blues, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Death of the Salesman.
Yeah.
When did you perform on those? They were stage plays, were they? Playbills?
There were stage plays. Yeah, there were stage plays. There were before I got into the whole Elvis thing full time. Actually,
Yes.
it seems like a past life, man. I'm not even that old, man. It's crazy, man. It's like, but I love acting. I want to go back into it. Biloxi Blues was one of my. It probably had to be my favorite play that I did, and I actually. I went and I took it very seriously. I like to method act, so I'd like to get into the role. I was extremely skinny. I've always been a thin person, but I started working out, man, like nonstop, like every day. So by the time the show premiere came around, I was thin, but I was pretty muscular, and I buzzed all my hair off for the role because it was a military role. And of course, they gave me the role of Carney, which was the soldier that sang. So
That's right.
here I am laying on my bunk with a guitar next to me. So I'm like, not too far of a stretch, So it was great. I loved it. But I love acting. I hope to go back into some stuff here again. This whole thing that the world's going through, it has put a lot of things into a different perspective. and you keep thinking about things, and it was like, well, I might want to do that again, or I might want to do this again, or I want to do this, blah blah blah, whatever. So that's something I want to throw myself into once again, hopefully here at some point soon. So.
And hopefully be able to act in a stage play over here in Australia, and we could see you perform as well. So,
oh, that'd be great.
And do a stage play as well in Australia.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
A bit of both. Now you also wrote, directed, and acted in your own production, Back to Live.
Yes.
And what was that? That was obviously an Elvis show.
Yeah, it's an Elvis show. It was, I've written a couple of Elvis-based productions. I like to write scripts, and some of them are just like sitting around. It's like a pile of scripts. I'm always coming up with ideas. I'm always trying to be creative. I'm always writing scripts, doing something.
Always keep a notebook beside your bed. I do that. If I can't get an idea, I write it down in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. I go back to sleep.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. So I wrote Back to Live, and I wrote a song called I wrote a show called 68 as well, based on the 68 special, full script of that, and I wrote. My last show was called Elvis on Stage, which I did a couple of shows of that very successfully. But the thing is, if you don't have a financial backer and you're backing everything out of your pocket, it's going to be a limited run, man. That's what I bumped into every time. And unfortunately, because I think they're great shows. Back to Live was critically acclaimed. We had great reviews out of the Toluca Lake newspaper out in Burbank, California. They gave us great reviews out there in Hollywood and in LA, and I included these the Sweet Inspirations were in that show. They were part of the cast as well, and it was based on 69 international performances. So it was just a great show. It was a backstory of that leading to the show. So
no, I would love to see that. I've seen a couple of snippets here and there online as well, so I would love to see that. So now let's have a look at. I put the green room on for you as well. I thought in the background, so I'll do that for you.
Oh man, it's got the jungle room there.
The jungle room, sorry, jungle room. What am I saying green room for? Green room, jungle room, same. So Karen Jones have come on, and she said, Ted, where has been your most favourite place to perform and why?
Australia.
Good answer.
No, honestly, it is one of my favorite places. I just loved Australia. I really did. I'm not even kidding about that. I loved it. And other than Australia, let me see. There's been a lot of places here in the States. Of course, Vegas, because of the experiences that I've had there at the old Las Vegas Hilton. Memphis, always, Tupelo, places like that. Elvis, that have Elvis history, always. But countries that are some of my favorites, other than Australia.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No, but I mean that. I love Australia. Other than Australia, it's been. I had a blast in Birmingham, UK. That was fantastic, and I loved Italy. I love Spain. And I love Norway. So I've done many tours in Norway, and I've made a lot of great friends out there in Norway. So hi Norway, Helga, everybody out there if you're watching. I've made a lot of great friends out there, and it's a lovely country. I just love it out there. We both do. So.
Bruno's actually in the green room as well. He's waiting to come on next.
Bruno.
He's actually written on here. He's got great hair. So he's watching. He's laughing. I can see him laughing in the green room.
Thanks, Bruno.
Unbelievable.
This is my rocker hair this morning. I couldn't find anything. My hair's getting long. I haven't been able to get a haircut, so I'm going back to the old me here. Yeah.
Let me have a look here. What else there is? Is what's in your okay?
Yeah, Bruno's a great guy, man. I love Bruno. Yeah. And he's a great singer, man. We've had some fun times together, man.
No, he's a great guy. I met him in 2017. I hung out with him and Mary and a whole group of us as well.
She's lovely. Yeah.
Was one of them, and just I got to know him, and just amazing guy. Just really, really good guy. Now, Sandra Crowther. He's in the background, guys. I can see him. Sandy Crowther says, "Hi, Ted Torres Martin. is the white bust in your man cave ahead of Elvis? If so, is there a story about it? Happy anniversary.
The white bust. Yeah, and let me do something here for her here. I'm going to turn my computer around here for a minute, and you'll see it. It's up there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, on the top right corner. Yeah, I see it.
I am in my man cave, so it is right up there. That white bust, man. Let me tell you something about that thing. That is the head of Elvis. That's Elvis's head. It sounds weird, but I never knew, and I just came to discover it recently. And I've been to Graceland. I've been going to Memphis, Tennessee, and Graceland. Memphis is like my second home, man, as well. I have so many friends there. I've been in Memphis and Olive Branch, Mississippi, and hello to Olive Branch and Memphis. Love you all my friends out there. I've been going out there since I was 13 years old. So I've made a lot of great friends out there, and Elvis Week and everything. So I just came to find out not long ago by looking at pictures, because I'm always reading something or researching stuff. I'm looking in Elvis's living room, the white living room to the right when you come into the house.
Yeah.
And I see this bust sitting in the corner, and it's that same exact bust at Graceland.
Wow, is that right?
The weirdest thing. And I have one. I have one too. I have one here. I also have the monkey from the room, the den downstairs. I have that white monkey. It's sitting right across from me over here. I have one of those.
Do this for you. There you go. I've got the room behind me.
Yeah. So the white bust is somewhere like behind you somewhere. It's somewhere back there. I've seen it. It's in that table. It's in that table in between the two
I think
chairs.
it's on here, the table here somewhere. Wait, let me try and pick it up.
You see those two white chairs? Look in between, right underneath the peacock and that little table. There's the bust right there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's right there. There you go. 1 minute. There.
Yeah, right there. Big bust.
That's the one. Oh, look,
So
I'm
it is
jamming
Elvis.
up and everything on the. There you go. All right.
It is Elvis.
I did that for you. Now let's have a look at who else we got. We've got Vinny Vozzo.
Vinny.
Vozzo. Yeah, Vinny said Ted Torres. Martin, would you pick the From Elvis to in Memphis as the best album did? Because you actually nailed Elvis's voice from that period.
Oh man, Vinny, that's my good friend Vinny. He's an amazing musician. I actually got to play with him in Australia, and
he's in Adelaide. He's in Adelaide. Good friend.
Yeah. Adelaide's a beautiful place. I love it out there. And he, hello Vinny, how are you, my friend? Well, you know what? I am obsessed with that album. I always have been. I think From Elvis in Memphis is one of Elvis's best albums. And in my opinion, if he had a chance to do one or two more albums after that with Chips Moman, it would have been golden. I think Elvis's career would have taken a different turn. But unfortunately, I think Colonel Parker had a big problem because they weren't willing to give up all the royalties and everything for the songs like Colonel wanted. So Colonel thought, you're not working with these people anymore. So he just destroyed all that for Elvis. But the production value was so different. Elvis had so much freedom. The songs were so great, and man, you can feel his soul through those songs, man. So yeah, I think From Elvis in Memphis is probably one of the best, if not his best album, in my opinion. And there's a couple of other ones that I really like the Now album and the Today album, and back to the 50s, the Elvis album and the second album as well after that, yeah, it's incredible. It's one of my favorites, and I love singing that 69 stuff, man. Love it.
Yeah, Vinny did obviously guitaring, and he backing singing for you in Parks.
He did.
The festival as well. That's right. Yeah, fantastic.
Very talented.
Now, Monique Pierce has come on. Do you like cooking?
You know what? Yeah, I do actually. I'm cooking tonight.
Have you got a special dish? Have you got a family dish that you that you always cook, or that's your favorite? Like, I like asking this question. What's your favorite dish that your mum used to cook for you, or still does?
Oh, man,
that's a hard question, isn't it? It's.
I love meatloaf. I love. She used to make this thing. what are they called? It's like this. It's not a fruit. It's a vegetable. They call them merlitrons. Merlitron, I think they call them merlitron. It's a vegetable, and it's like you boil it first, and then you stuff it with like meat and potatoes or whatever it is, and that with a little rice, and I had some beans on the side and stuff like that. I used to love that dish my mom used to make. But my mom cooked a little bit of everything, man. She used to make quiche, and she used to make all kinds of stuff. And growing up, my mom's an amazing cook. I love everything my mom makes. My mom can do no wrong when it comes to food. Now, as for myself, one of my best dishes is boiled eggs. So
2 minutes done.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, I do like to cook, and I've gotten better at it. Especially since being with Allison, because I like to cook for her, and I like to surprise her once in a while. And I just come up with stuff. I just come up with stuff and throw a little bit of this here, a little bit of this there, and for some reason it works. It works. But tonight I'm cooking a really nice meal for her tonight for our anniversary. So, but I love to cook and I love to eat.
Well, we're gonna get you on the show one day and do a cooking class for about 10 minutes, all right?
It'll be a lot of guessing, and hopefully it'll take.
Right in. That tastes good now. Forget it. Cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Look, Ted, that's all the time we've got for the interview today. I really appreciate your time. I really do. It's been amazing. We've been chatting for close to an hour now, which has been actually awesome. I know time flies. It just goes real quick, doesn't it? Real quick.
Well, that's fun when you're having a good time. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before you disappear, now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow Ted Torres Martin, please go onto his page on Facebook, which is Ted Torres Martin, World Champion International Elvis Tribute. He will be on the Facebook, so check out his page as well. If you do want to check out his website is www.revisitedelvis.com. So please make sure you check out his website. Now, his website's got videos, got his back to live production on there, and got gallery of photos, got heaps and heaps of photos. So please check that out, and please do follow him on Facebook as well, because he has actually got a show coming up, which is actually the Mayor's Music Series, which is the Tupelo Elvis Festival, brought to you by Tupelo Elvis Festival. That's Saturday tomorrow, which is 4:30. Is that right, Ted? 4:30 your time?
That's 4:30 p. That's 4:30 p.m. Central Time, 5:30 p.m. my time. I'm on Eastern USA time, so it's 5:30 p.m. Eastern USA time, 4:30 p.m. USA Central Standard Time. That's Tupelo time, 4:30 p.m.
Right, okay. So that will be 5:30 your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in Australia, if you're watching, that's 5:30 in the morning in Australia, Perth, or it's 7:30 in the morning Eastern States. All right.
There you go.
7:30 in the morning. Most of my viewers are Eastern States. So 7:30 in the morning Eastern States. Make sure you go on to Ted's page, Ted Torres' page, and you make sure that you follow that as well and watch that series. And
if they happen to miss it because they're sleeping, and I don't blame them because I like to sleep too. If they happen to miss it, this is for the city of Tupelo and Mr. Jason Shelton, the mayor of Tupelo. Great guy. He's doing a great job out there for Tupelo.
Yeah, he joined the Friday Night Live show page, and I think he may be watching tonight. So hopefully he is watching. So
hey Jason, if you're watching, thank you for having me on. Yeah, if you miss it, it'll be on the Tupelo Elvis Festival page. They'll share it, and I'll be sharing it on my artist page as well, just in case.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, Ted, thank you so much for your time. It's been an amazing interview. We've had such fun. Best of luck with your anniversary tonight, and have a fantastic night with your wife. And have a fantastic weekend with the show as well, and more likely I'll be watching as well, so definitely I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you, Stuey, and I want to thank everybody out there for watching, and everybody out there for always being so supportive and for loving the music of Mr. Elvis Presley. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Stuey. You do a great job at all you do. I appreciate you. And Bruno, love you, man. I'll be watching. Do a good job. All right.
Lovely. Thanks, Ted. We're going to finish up with a video of the latest promo from Ted as well. So thank you very much, Ted. You take care, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
You too. Thank you, my friend.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama. Just anything you do. That's all right. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, Mama. Any way you do.
for the show. Please get ready now, go get going, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but be home for my blue suede shoe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ted Torres, Martin. A fantastic interview, great guy. It's been an absolute pleasure having him on the show as well, which is fantastic. We've got our next artist coming up, and this is another amazing guy. I've got to know him in 2017 when I went over to Memphis for the 40th anniversary of Elvis, and this guy is just unbelievable. He's a great guy, great voice, nice guy, humble guy you could ever meet. So have a watch of this little video here.
Another for me, and I shall feel the soft you tread above me, and then my grave will return sweeter be, for you will bend to tell me that you love me, and I shall rest in peace until you come to
Legend, please welcome to the show, big round of applause, to my friend, multi-talented, award-winning, tribute-eyes, Mr. Bruno Nesci. Bruno!
How are you, my friend?
Very well, my friend, very well. How are you?
Pretty good. You gotta do me a favor and put the air conditioning on in this green room. It's hot in this green room. You gotta put the AC on.
It's a little bit cold over in Canada at the moment, isn't it?
That's why I put my scarf on. A second ago, I had my glasses on. A second ago, I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it properly, you know. But then I said, no, I can't see anything. It's way too early in the morning for me.
Fantastic. Look, thank you so much for coming on the show, Bruno. It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
No, this is awesome. I love this. I want to thank you for everything you're doing with this show. It's incredible. Ted Torres, love you, brother. And it's great. What you're doing is awesome.
Thank you. And the reason I came up with this idea, I started planning this a number of weeks before the COVID-19 hit. And the reason I came up with this because to tell people what the tribute artists are about, what their life's about, how they started, what they're doing, what they've done, past, present, future. And it's no one knows that, they might see you on stage and, you're an amazing performer, both yourself and Ted. But then all of a sudden, they need to know the backgrounds and where you started, what got you there, the struggles, the hardships. And it's not easy.
Honestly, Stuey, if we were to start getting into detail about the tribute artists, I think we're going to be opening a completely different book. You're going to have to dedicate a 3-hour show every day, 365 days a year about that.
Welcome to the Elvis world. Exactly right. Now, all right, let's start from the beginning. Now, you're located in Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, I'm in the general Toronto area. So I'm
in Toronto. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go from the start. Now, your passion for Elvis started at a very young age. Is that right?
8 years old, actually.
Wow. Okay. And when did your love for Elvis? When did you start? When did you start performing and that sort of thing? I've got a young picture of you. I found this.
Oh.
Here we go. Here you are.
I'm putting my glasses on again.
Mate, I've been doing my research on you guys. I tell you, I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not sign any disclosures about this. No, that's you know what? I'm actually very happy that you pulled something up like that. It's great memories, no doubt about it. At that point, I was able to fit into a karate suit. Today, it's more like, it's like more of the later jumpsuits for me. But those are great memories. I started at 8 years old. That picture was well into my teens. I was 16, 17 at the time. No, I was probably younger than that, but nonetheless, I started at a young age. Actually, another Elvis tribute artist at the time walked into our family's restaurant. I would mess around with the microphone, but I didn't know who Elvis was. Like, I knew the music, but I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he looked like.
Yeah.
So this tribute artist came in, young guy, a couple years older than me, comes in, goes to my father and my mom and says, the parents go, hey, can my kid sing in here? He just wants some experience. My dad's like, yeah, go ahead. Goes to the DJ. He does this whole, in a little tiger suit, the cutest thing ever. Sings Poke Salad, Suspicious Minds, and Can't Help Falling in Love. The people went berserk for this kid. And I'm like, I want that attention.
Yeah, we all do.
Why don't they look at me? I'm like, I'm cuter than he is. Why aren't they looking at me like this? So then I went to our in-house musician that was playing for us for over 15 years. And I said, like, the music, I was very intrigued on what he was doing. And he's like, okay, let's learn an Elvis song. And he's a massive, Jesus was a massive Elvis fan. So he taught me Teddy Bear. So he sat at the piano. And then on New Year's, I was taking karate at the time. So I put on my white karate pants. I put on a white dress shirt. And I went in my mom's closet and I found this gold belt. And
Gold belt.
yeah, the gold belt. And this big old 80s style buckle on it, this round thing. And so on New Year's, I decided, we spoke to we did a couple little small practices. Nobody knew, not even my parents. So all of a sudden he starts on the piano. Ba-dum-ba, ba-dum-ba. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruno as Elvis. I came down. It was like, looking at it today, I'm like, what did I do?
I wish I had that video.
Oh.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
No.
Yeah.
And,
I would have played that video.
I can give it to you anyways. It's on a VHS. Imagine it's on.
I would have, mate. Post it to me. I'll get that online.
And it was like, it was just hideous. And but the thing was, my dad and my mom, like in the middle of cooking and serving dinner, they just stopped, dropped everything, and looked out of the kitchen, and they're like, "Our kid just ruined New Year's." Meanwhile, it was such a hit that the customers of the restaurant were like, the same night were almost signing me up for festivals, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to do it. You're gonna have fun." Stuey, I was hooked. It's been 21 years this New Year's that I've haven't stopped. It's been my life goal is I got to be an Elvis tribute artist. Go figure. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be like Elvis.
I know, right?
It's my life. You know what? I love it. I love it. I do it the same reason you do it. It's all for the love of Elvis.
That's right. Exactly right. And we all love it and just fantastic. And I got the pleasure of meeting you in 2017. Now let's go. I'll come to that in a second. So you started your career at your very young age. Now in 2010 you formed the Dreamer Show.
Yeah.
Now, how did that develop? Where did it go from there? What areas did you do and that sort of thing?
So with the Dreamer Show band, what happened was I got contracted to do a small tour across Canada. I was just going to be a small segment into the show with another tribute artist from Italy that did Italian music. Yes. He did a tribute to this famous Italian singer, Celentano, because the actual singer never left Italy. He never got on a plane, never left Europe. If he was able to drive or take a train, he would. So he formed this tribute artist that's fully licensed, spitting image of him, who does all these sold out shows across the world to represent him. Wow. Which is kind of weird, but at the same time, it was awesome because people are like in awe over this guy. So we got contracted to do these shows across Canada. And the guitar player, in the middle of Suspicious Minds, I'd be using my tracks because the band didn't know my music. So I'd be using my tracks, and all of a sudden, the drummer came on stage. And I could hear a double drumming in the background. And then all of a sudden, the guitar player came on stage. And I could hear a double guitar. All of a sudden, the piano player came on stage. I'm like, sure enough, the three musicians knew the Elvis tunes inside out. And I'm like, okay, kill the tracks. And we did it live.
Wow.
Then I created a friendship with the guitar player. And it's been 11 years now that we've Vito, the guitar player, has been playing with me, and we formed the Dreamer Show Band with his brother on drums, our great friend Jim on bass, and Frank on keys. And we started off just with the 70s. Then from the 70s, we added the 50s. Then we made this 45-minute show. And from this 45-minute show, our first big show was the Collingwood Elvis Festival. So it's like, okay, guys, there's no more birthday parties. You got 10,000 people next week.
Yeah.
Just like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Our first show, Cynthia Pepper came on the show with us, and they were like,
yeah.
But ever since then, it's just evolved into the band knowing over 250 Elvis songs. Us doing anything from rockabilly stuff, which I don't suit the rockabilly stuff. I don't suit the Golden May, but I do it in a lot of my shows because the people love it. Like, I can't compare to you, Stuey, because you do an awesome 50s and 60s. I can't compare to you, but I do it in some.
I don't do 70s at all, so I don't do jumpsuit.
Hey, you do
more.
You do the 69 stuff. I saw you in pictures.
Yeah, I did 69, but I don't do 70s.
Okay, well,
I do 69. I do 69 Vegas, and I won't do jumpsuit because I'll leave that to professionals like yourself, like Ted, like the guys that have. No, I'm being serious. So I've always done 50s. I've done 68. I love my 68. That's my favorite era.
Oh,
I love my levers.
You do a great job in the 68. I saw the videos of you with Gordon Hendricks. So you do a great job with the 68.
Thank you.
So that's how it all started with the band. And now we have sort of our pocket for the Elvis tribute world is a lot different comparing to a lot of other bands, because we catered now in the last few years to music that's never really heard. So stuff like Stranger in the Crowd, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues, Next Step is Love, Loving Art. We do all these like obscure Elvis songs. So it's people are like, whoa, we didn't hear that at Ted's show or Gordon's show or all these other shows. They don't hear these songs because people are so used to hearing the mainstream stuff. So we go off the record and we do these weird songs and people love it. So now we sort of got that label as the weird band.
And sometimes it can be, sometimes it can be a risk as well.
It is. And that's how I played it. Is I said, you know what? Being Elvis of the Vegas stuff, in Vegas, it's all about a gamble. No matter which way you look at it, any singer that went to Vegas, it was a gamble. They didn't know if Vegas was going to accept them or not. So that's what I decided to do. I said, I'm going to keep the mainstream songs, but every show I'm going to remove one and add a weird one. I'm going to add those obscure songs into the shows. And the gamble sort of paid off, because now I'm going to shows where the people really weren't major Elvis fans, but they liked the music. All of a sudden you go and sing, you look at Take the Ribbon from Your Hair, and the people go mental because they don't realize that Elvis sang these songs. And it's like they love it. And I get requests all the time, and it's awesome.
Now let's talk about 2015. Now you won the Collingwood Elvis Festival Pro Concert Years.
Yes,
that was
my dream come true.
I've not been to Collingwood, unfortunately, and the festival is no longer. Hopefully it will be in the future. But tell us the feeling of that, like the festival, the people, 10,000 people, unbelievable. I would have loved to be there.
I'll make you laugh. If I'm not mistaken, 2007, the Collingwood Elvis Festival beat a world record for 150 Elvises on one stage, and the helicopter view. They did an aerial view. They had close to 100,000 people for the festival. Now this town, I think it only has 2,000 people living in the whole town. Period. For that Elvis festival, that's why they named it as the world's largest Elvis festival. But the Collingwood Elvis Festival, from when I started going there in 2001 or 2000, and I won this little youth talent show. And I got there and watched all the weekend and watching the tribute artists, it made me want to continue going. So every year I entered. Then I sort of was, I was in the non-pro category, and finally got out of my youth, got into the non-pro, and the year I went non-pro, another tribute art, he wasn't a tribute artist at the time. His mom comes to me and says, "Hey, can you help my son?" And I'm like 16 at the time, 17. And "Can you help my son? He wants to do this. You're from Woodbridge." I go, "Sure, let me meet your son." I'm expecting this little kid. Here comes this 38-year-old adult, and I'm like, You said a kid. This is a grown man. He's got 4 kids of his own.
That he knows of. Yeah.
So sure enough, I help him. This guy gets into the Elvis world. Stuey, the year after he gets into the Collingwood Elvis Festival, everything's all said and done. He beat me in the non-pro category.
Oh.
And I'm like,
that blank look.
I'm like, are you for real? All of a sudden, you know what? I said, no, I'm going to go pro. I said, I got to go pro for myself. I have to go pro. I went pro. It took me 3 years, but I put it in my head that my dream is to win the Collingwood Elvis Festival. And I was lucky that within 4 years, I think it was 4 years, in 2015, I had the pleasure and the honor of winning the Collingwood Elvis Festival. It was a dream come true. You know what? Just letting them, and the funny part is, the guy that I brought into the Elvis world per se, he won the non-pro category the same year.
All right.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I was good with that. It was such a rush to win the festival that I grew up on. The Collingwood Elvis Festival was the festival I grew up with. That's all I knew.
That was part of UETA EPE as well, wasn't it? Collingwood always is.
You know what? It was. It was an ultimate qualifier. At the time, I did not have. There was a different rule tabulation for the way they counted points. So I wasn't the ETA with the highest points. Someone else was in the non-pro early years. He was the representative for the ultimate that year.
Oh, very different.
It was a very different. Yeah. It was still sort of fresh and new with the ultimate too at the time.
Right,
it started in 07, so they were still trying to fix bugs every year as they're going along.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, no worries. Now, you worked with some of Elvis' iconic band members as well and close friends like Joe Esposito, Charles Stone. Charles Stone was obviously Elvis's manager as well.
He was a tour manager and photographer.
Yeah, that's right. And Joe Esposito, close friend, Cynthia Pepper. Just to name a few. Like, who else have you performed with?
I've worked with the Sweets. You had Portia last week on your show, and it was awesome
that's right.
to see her. I've worked with the Sweets. DJ Fontana I've worked with.
Oh wow, really?
I've worked with a few of Elvis's close band members and such. And that's like back in 2004 I won or was it 07? 2007. Sorry. I won regardless. I was 2004. I won the North American Elvis Tribute Artist Award in the youth category for Lake George. It was the very first year for the festival, 2004. And I had the pleasure of winning it, the youth category. And a part of when you do your a lot of these festivals in North America, they do a victory song. I'm not sure about Australia yet, but they do a victory song. And as a youth, I walked on stage and my victory song was Poke Salad. Always my favorite Elvis song. So I walk on stage, I do Poke Salad, and I turn to my left, and we're talking 2004. I was 4 years into this. Yeah. I turn to my left, and I see these 3 beautiful backup singers, and I'm like, I'm singing with the Sweet Inspirations. Who would have ever known that these ladies?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I almost fell to my knees. I couldn't even sing. I was lost. I didn't know what to say.
And you would be. Anyone would be as well. Now in 2017, and obviously, and you won the ultimate in Elvis Tweed Elvis Festival, and also 2019 you won it as well.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be the 2-time winner for the Tweed Elvis Festival.
Now here's the actual announcement of the 2017 one as well, because that was the same year I met you, and we'll come back to that in a second.
That's right.
Yes!
All right, so our winner of Tribute to Elvis Festival 2017 is Mr. Bruno Nesci.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you. No, but first of all, thank Elvis Presley, everybody. Without him, I can't be here, and none of us could be here. Give it up for all these guys behind me, because it was creepy how great this weekend was. But thank all of you.
2017. Now that same year, obviously, you represented Tweed Festival on the Ultimates.
Actually,
in Memphis.
2017, I represented the Niagara Falls Elvis Festival.
Right. Okay.
It actually happens the week after Elvis Week. So it happens the week after Elvis Week. So
yes,
I didn't represent Tweed. I represented Niagara Falls, and then
so 18 you represented Tweed.
Yes.
Okay.
So
and then 19 you represented
like
Tweed
a late
again.
reaction.
So by 19, you should be representing Tweed this year. Then is that right?
This year I would be representing Tweed as long as the festival, the Ultimate, goes on. If this Corona pandemic goes to rest, kind of thing, or gets out of our way, then this year I would be representing the Tweed Elvis Festival. If not,
that's right.
Next year I will be representing Tweed Elvis Festival.
Right. Okay. Well, here's a bit of a snippet of your performance. I think this is 2019. So have a watch of this.
Baby, getting closer. The lights are going dim. The sound of your breathing has made the mood I'm in. All of my resistance lying on the floor, taking me to places that I've never been before. And I can feel way down where the music plays, way down like a tidal wave, way down where the fire blazes, way down, down.
Awesome. Love it. I was sitting there dancing as well. Now, 2017, that was a 2019 Tweed Festival. So if Elvis Week goes ahead this year, then obviously you're going to be representing them this year as well.
Yes, as long as the Elvis Festival goes on, I will be representing Tweed.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, 2017 was the first time I met you. That's a group photo of all of us at the 40th anniversary. That we all waited in line about 9 hours for.
I don't know about you waiting in line. I know that me and Mary did. You were sort of hopping around, and me and Mary were sort of wondering, like, who is this guy, kind of thing.
That's right. That was the first time I met you.
Hold on. Guys, can you hold my spot? I gotta go say hi to someone.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And it was all the way up the line. Then I know halfway up the line, the driveway, the security.
Oh, do you remember?
I'll let you tell the story. Viewers, you need to listen to this now. This was gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. If you have to go to the bathroom, do not do it on Graceland property. Myself, Mary, Stuey, another friend of ours, Todd was there, and we're walking up the line, and we're on the driveway with our candles, and all of a sudden we see security take down this guy on the grass, and we're sort of standing there, and we're like, okay, what just happened? The guy had to go to the bathroom, didn't want to leave the line. He did what he had to do, and it's all in the love of Elvis. The guy's like, I'm not leaving.
He should have just asked someone to hold his spot like I was doing all night.
And like you were doing. Yes, Stewie.
Hey, we got up there eventually, all right? I had to say hello to a few people. Come on, give me a break.
No, that was not, no. And that's what, that was something that I would have done. And that's why I took to you right away. It's like, oh, I love that guy. That's what I would do. The first person behind me. Can you hold my spot? See you later. I'll go get a coffee. Come back an hour later. Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh, you're still here? Give me a second. I gotta go.
Exactly, and it worked though. Good friendship. That all happened.
I ended up with your camera for the rest of Elvis.
That's right. You did too. Yeah. Now,
wow.
Yeah, I put it in Mary's bag. I remember that now. Yeah, I remember now. I forgot about that. Now, so when you won the Tweed Festival, obviously you went into the Memphis qualifying. You went on stage in Memphis, and I saw you perform that. Is that the year you made top 10, wasn't it?
Yes. The first year I made the Ultimate. I sort of went in there, eyes closed. I've heard about the Ultimate, but I never been. And the thing was, I said, it could be a great feeling, a great exposure kind of thing. or it could be like brutal, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm the new guy on the block at the Ultimate. I was very rocky for me. When I got there, it was a breeze, and the people, the staff, the people, it was so welcoming that that tension just disappears. Like, oh, you're just in the back of you're just on the Graceland property. Who cares? I do.
Yeah, we all do.
I'm sitting here. I'm freaking out. No, don't worry. We're good. Have lunch. Lunch is the first thing I'm thinking about.
You always do it, eh?
And then I'm like, you get on stage, and your worry is that 6 seconds before you get on stage, then the minute you touch the staircase, it all went away. You know what? In that the first year I went, there was so many great tribute artists on in the contest, and I'm like, you know what? It's just an honor to be here. I can care less if I make top 10. When they called my name,
I was sitting next to Mary.
I was thinking that for sure. So there was a sniper in the room. Someone was going to shoot me. Like I saw death flash in front of my eyes. I'm like,
wow. I watched you perform. Myself and Mary watched you perform. And when you performed, I was like, wow, just because your voice was so strong, it was huge. And that was the first time I actually heard you. But I became friends with you guys before that, obviously. But that's the first time I heard you, and just your voice. And I turned to Mary and went, oh my God, wow, unbelievable. And she just went mental. I think she took out about 3 people around her.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal for me. She does that. As you can tell, that video you just played from Tweed, that was Mary in the background.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's Mary screaming.
But
so 2019.
Yep.
Here's another snippet of you on stage as well. Here we go.
When was the last time you kissed me? And I don't mean a touch now and then. It's been a long time since you felt like my woman, and even longer since I felt like your man. So tell me that if you think it's over, and I'll leave it up to you how it ends. 'Cause if you don't want the love I could give you, for there's a honky-tonk angel who'll take me back here.
Now, that was only last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was last year at the Ultimate.
Yeah, that's right.
I was sort of that was sort of a scary year for me too. The Honky Tonk Angel was a new song that I just introduced to my catalog like in June, and the Ultimate was I qualified in Penticton, and I added Honky Tonk Angel for Penticton, and I learned it the day of the finals because I didn't know if I was making the finals or not. And when I got to the Ultimate, you have to submit so many songs, and then they pick the songs you sing. And Honky Tonk Angel was like the bottom of my list. And then sure enough,
they picked it.
Honky Tonk Angel. I'm like,
well, you honestly, that song, when I was doing my research and I actually found that online and I took that snippet, and when I played it, I was like, amazing, great voice.
That's
Elvis.
That's my style. That's my style of Elvis. I love that stuff.
Oh, but that song, I did that research yesterday, and I heard it last night. Late last night was my research, and that song has stuck in my head all day. That is one of my all-time favorite songs as well. I love it.
There's just something about the song that makes you want to sing it, makes you want to listen to it.
Yeah. But you did it justice. Your voice and everything just sounds amazing, Bruno. It really does. It really does sounds amazing.
Thank you.
obviously the nerves and everything, and you on stage and that sort of thing. Now, 20 years of being a tribute artist and being on and off stage, and doing it for so long. Got some amazing suits. Obviously, you built those up over the years as well.
Actually, the one in the picture that you're showing right now with that's the blue swirl.
Yes.
That was actually a gift from another Elvis tribute artist.
Wow.
The first year I made it to the Ultimate. That tribute artist who gave it to me was in the Ultimate a few years before, and unfortunately, he didn't make the top 10. Or no, he made the top 10, didn't make the top 5. And when he realized I was going to the Ultimate, he gave me the suit and he said, "Here, this is a gift for you."
Wow.
And he goes, "Hopefully, it gives you better luck than it gave me." Sure enough, I made the top 10, and he started freaking out. He's like, "What?" So it's a suit that I wear in all my competitions now. It turned out to be one of my good luck charms. That one and the old Indian suit. Those are 2 suits that I always wear in every contest now.
Yes. I haven't. Have I got a photo of the old Indian suit? I think I. Oh, yes. Is it that one there?
That's the gypsy suit.
That's the gypsy suit.
The one with the feathers on it. I don't even have a picture of it around me, or else I would show you.
Oh yeah, I haven't got a copy of it here. I should have known beforehand. I would have.
No, not a big deal.
But check out his website. Check out also his. Check out his Facebook page, and you'll see it on there definitely. Okay. Now, 20 years of being a tribute artist, you also sing Italian songs as well. Here's a bit of a snippet of Bruno singing in Italian, but I actually love his Italian songs. I love his voice in it. See, here we go.
Sei proprio tu, l'unica donna per me. Io non sono conta se non sono con te. Non voglio andare via se ti prendo o no. Io nessuno ragione per vivere. Anche il tuo amore non chiedermi niente, dimmi che hai bisogno di me. Sei sempre mia. Anche quando vado via tu sei l'unica donna per me. Tutti quanti con me, tu sei con me.
Awesome, love it. You did a few live feeds
out there, right? You had to throw that out there.
Yeah, you did a few live feeds recently. You did a couple of Italian songs, and you did a live feed. I think it was only about a week ago, and I switched on when I said saw you live. I said, "Oh, let's check out what he's doing."
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're singing an Italian song, and I just went. It gave me goosebumps. Now I grew up with Italians, so the music.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you? Isn't the name Stuey V? Isn't that Italian?
Italiano.
It's from the north part, right? From the north.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly right. So how long? Do you do that with a Dreamers band, or you've got a separate band for that? Or
no, actually, what happened was because the Dreamers were originally an Italian wedding band.
Okay.
We actually evolved our show into not only an Elvis show, but we do wedding music, dance music, Italian background music, folklore music. Like we do all the polkas, we do
tarantellas
and all that kind of stuff. And thanks to the Dreamers, and we do a lot of the most famous Italian stuff that from the 60s and the 70s that people love. And it actually, my Italian it's good when I sing and when I talk. It actually, my Italian came from Australia. Funny enough.
Is that right? Okay.
My father's family is originally from Australia. They're from Sydney, small little town in Sydney called Five Dock. I don't know if you know about Five Dock.
No, I never heard of it.
It's just a small little Italian suburb, and my grandmother lived there her whole life. They immigrated from Italy to Australia. They got on the wrong boat. I think they wanted to say America, but they went to Australia. They ended up in Australia. I got all my relatives still there, my aunts, my uncles. They're all still in Australia, cousins. And when I went to go and visit them back in 2000 and I want to say 2008, 10 or about 10 or 11, my grandmother didn't speak any English. So,
oh, is that right? Okay.
With her, it was one thing: either you learn or you eat what she made. You learn Italian or tough luck, go to McDonald's. So the thing was, I had to learn so I can talk to her, so I could communicate with her. in 3 months that I was in Australia, from a 2-week vacation, I was there for 3 months. I came back speaking perfect Italian. Then it just migrated into the music that I fell in love with. So now Italian's my everyday. Everything I do is in Italian pretty well.
And now, Leslie, if you've got any questions or any questions you want to throw at Bruno, please put them in the comments now. Try and type them away. Yeah, put them in the comments now. Give us some love as well. I don't know what way I'm going to be pointing here. Give us some love and some likes as well. Yeah, somewhere over here somewhere. Say no. So if you've got any comments, please, or any questions for Bruno, please put it in there, and I will ask Bruno as well. Now, during the COVID-19 lockdown that's happening, you've been a saviour to many in your performance as well. And ladies and gentlemen, just have a watch of this and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So have a look at this. Here we go.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These little town blues are melting away. Right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep.
Wow, that would have been awesome. How did you come up with the idea? You made so many people smile. How did you come up with an idea like that? It's just all of a sudden and you was in City News as well. You had news reporters there and everything.
Actually, the way the whole thing unraveled is actually quite amazing. So one of I want to call him my manager, but we're family. He's not a manager. He's my family.
Yeah.
As I said, we're very Italian. Like everything. Oh, if you need to know something, we call each other. We know faster than the news does. So he calls me one day and he goes, Bruno, I want you to come to sing at the building. And I go, what do you mean sing at the building? He goes, well, here. And he sends me a link. And it's a video clip of all these Italians in Italy during the lockdown singing off their balconies.
Yes, I saw that.
I go, I can't come in your building. And he goes, no, you sing to the building. He goes, don't sing from the building. Sing to the building. And I go, I don't know if I was allowed to do that. With our government restrictions here, I didn't know. So then I'm like, I was very hesitant. Because at the end of the day, I am a singer. I got a family here. The last thing I want to do is harm myself, but then harm my family also.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was very scared. And then I spoke with a couple people. I'm like, you know what? If I get sick, I get sick. Who cares? You know what? I'm young. I'm strong. I will get better. My family's young and strong. They'll get better. If it happens, it happens. But I got to put a smile on someone's face. Yeah. Like I was going mentally insane, not being able to sing.
Oh, like, it's hard. It's not easy. Yeah.
Like we're dying, not playing with the band right now. And the thing is that so I said, you know what? I said, Dom, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna bring a generator. So we went. I set up. As I was singing, people were videotaping. People were coming out on their balconies and dancing. People were stopping cars on the side of the street. I'm like, I got a bigger crowd here than I do at half of these venues that I get hired for. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, you know what? I see crowds like this at the casinos, not here, not in.
Yeah.
Sure enough, the week later, I get a phone call from City News that someone submitted that video and they wanted to do an interview. So I went and I did this interview and I said, okay, you know what? When do you want to do this interview? She goes, well, if you're free, we could do it right now.
Yeah, gone.
And you know what? I got to say, it was a godsend because every now and then Mary will go and check up on my phone. She'll go and she'll just open up my screen and just see what's going on. And she'll go boring, like nothing good. And then all of a sudden that morning, she comes up to me and she's stabbing me in bed and she's, some lady, Audrey Brown, messaged you from City TV. I'm like, what, who, what, where, what?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about her being on my phone or what she was doing. I was just worried. okay, let's get dressed. Call her up. Let's see what we got to do. And it worked out that it was such they loved what happened. And ever since then, it's like every other week I got another building I'm going to sing at.
Wow, excellent. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. So if you do want to check that out, I'll give you the link shortly to Bruno's Facebook page, and you can check that out as well. So there's a report on there. I couldn't download the video, so I can't play it to you. But there's a report on there, and the actual segment is on there of the interview and everything.
Yeah, that was maybe one of the highlights of my career. I've been on the news many times, but it's always been for someone else. You know, I worked for the theater and they used me in a commercial. I worked for the casino and they used me for a commercial. My dad's restaurant, he used me in the commercial. So it's like, I've always been on the news or on TV for a different thing. I used to work for a TV station also. So it's like, I used to play with my band and it was always great. But then when you get a call because you did something good from your heart, you did something that you care about it and you get recognized for it, it's a completely different feeling. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, definitely, and that's fantastic work as well. So put a lot of smiles, as I said, on people's faces as well. Now you have an amazing woman, fiance. Should I say fiance? Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Mary
right.
and your stepson.
Yeah, Joey.
I say stepson Joey, and that's Joey's birthday. Is that right?
Yeah, it was, actually for Canada it was yesterday. For you, it was 2 days ago.
So happy birthday, Joey, for yesterday. 11 he turned, didn't he?
Yeah, he turned 11. And actually, because me and you are on the same date now, today's actually my mom's birthday. So I'm going to wish her a happy birthday too.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom. There you go.
And it means a lot that I could wish them both a happy birthday. And I know Joey's still sleeping, but I'm going to wish him a happy birthday. He'll watch it tomorrow.
Yeah. So
there he is.
There he is. So I got to know Mary and yourself 2017, and obviously she's a strength behind your performances, and she's a major support. Of course, she would be always.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know, just the love you guys have got and the connection you guys. I saw that straight away in both of you, and I saw what both of you have got in myself and my wife are like that as well. So I saw that connection. That's why I gelled to you guys straight away. You know, and just how has she been your strength? How has she been your push, your candle in the dark times, that sort of thing?
During this COVID or in general?
In general.
Okay, so in general, the thing about Mary is she never, I guess in her past, she never did any of this stuff. So when I met Mary, like my pickup line to Mary was like, "Hey, I'm an Elvis tribute artist." She was like, "A what?"
It worked.
She gave her head a scratch, and then, but then when she started actually listening to the band and listening to the music and coming to the events, then she started traveling with me. And at the time, well, unfortunately now with this COVID, there's no traveling, but in the last few years, it's like she's been halfway across the world already. So it's like she loves it. I know she loves the traveling. I brought her everywhere, like Dominican, Cuba. I bring her pretty well everywhere, and with shows. So she doesn't say no. Yeah. A lot of it's very hard in a musician's life to be married or have a girlfriend and stuff like that because there's a lot of traveling. Unfortunately, in the music business, there's not a lot of places that, especially if you're on contract, that you could bring your other half with you. You could bring your wife, or if you're a woman, you bring your husband, or vice versa. So a lot of the times the musicians even travel on their own. And so a lot of relationships are very rocky in the music business.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, Mary's really good that way. Like if I got to go do a show 3, 4, 5 hours away with my band, she's like, "Okay, see you later." And I'm gone for 2-3 days, and she's good with it. But then if the time comes up and I got to go to Maryland, or I got to go to Italy, or wherever I'm going, she comes. She's like, yeah, if I'm able to come, I'll come. And it's awesome because she's there. She supports me. She helps me with my music. She helps me set up the speakers.
It's beautiful. Very hard woman to find.
I got to pay someone to do this stuff. She's unloading trucks. She's pushing dollies, setting up lighting. I'm like, yes.
Yes. Scored. Yes.
I'm like, this is awesome. Like, where else am I going to find this? and
exactly.
I thank her every day for it.
Yeah, she's an amazing lady. I got along really well with you guys, as I said, and me and Mary, we gelled straight away. She was such a laugh, such a laugh.
You and Mary had something in common too. That you guys were talking about a little bit of cover up and makeup and stuff.
Yeah, makeup and don't go there. You wear it as well, right?
No. I'm not talking about facial makeup. I'm talking about the ones that cover up the. That's right. You and Mary had that in common. Me, I'm a clean canvas.
Clean skin. He's a clean skin. Mary, I know you're watching. You've got to change that, all right? So even a little love heart on wherever someone can't see it.
Not gonna
Unbelievable. All right, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at some questions if anyone's come up with them. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Joey as well, and happy birthday to your mum.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone's actually throwing out.
I think my mom's watching right now. Anyways.
Oh, is she? Okay. So I've got one here. Millie Bolivia, when will you come back to British Columbia? We would love to have you come back to Penticton. So nice to meet you there. When you won there, be safe.
Thank you so much.
When you go back to British Columbia.
So, who asked that question again? Sorry.
That's for Millie Bolivia.
Millie, I will be back in Penticton as soon as you guys call me back. I loved it. Penticton was the first time I went. As I said about 2 seconds ago, I've traveled the whole world. And Penticton, out of all the competitions I've ever been to, and Stuey, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to sound like I'm selling it, and it was hard for me because Mary wasn't there. I was literally there by myself the first time in a strange place. I walked back and forth from the venues. The best festival I've ever been to in my life.
Wow.
It was the most expensive festival. It cost me, and it's in Canada, and it cost me almost $2,000 for the flight.
Wow.
But the thing was, it was the most beautiful festival I've ever been to. It's all waterfront, beautiful mountains. The people are so sweet. They honestly treat all the ETAs like Elvis, like they treat you like gold.
Yeah.
They're there at your beck and call. You need water, they're on it. You need this, they're on it. Like the most amazing festival I've ever did. So, Millie, to answer your question, if you call Brenda, she can get me back into the festival.
I think Todd told me about Penticton. I actually was going to apply for Penticton and into the festival as well. That was a couple of years ago.
It's honestly amazing.
It's still on my list. Don't worry. Oh, definitely. Now, Glenda Shin Valitik. I never can pronounce her surname. Sorry, Glenda. She's in Australia. Any plans for coming to Australia to perform?
I actually do have some plans in the works.
Why am I not knowing that it's before the show? What's going on there?
Oh, no, Stuey. As I said, I got plans in the works. I didn't say that I haven't been in concrete yet. So I do have some plans that I'm working out right now. As I said, I still got my family in Australia, which I think my Uncle Vince is watching this too right now. And we are working on something. As I told you the other day, I'm planning on hitting up a couple of the festivals when I come down there.
Yes,
you said to me, you mentioned Parks and Viva. And I said, you know what? I think I'm very interested in coming back to Australia again. I lost my grandmother a few years ago.
Sorry to hear.
Actually, the year that I won the Collingwood Elvis Festival. So for me, Australia really touches home for me.
Yeah.
So I'm actually planning to come back because I want to visit the family and stuff like that. So I'm going to be booking some more shows.
Good. I'm looking forward to seeing you here. Definitely looking forward to seeing you here. Definitely.
And
so Chris Allen has come on and said Chris Allen's here in Perth as well.
Hi,
very good supporter of mine. She has actually asked, "Hi Bruno, what is your favorite Italian dish and why?"
Oh, we're getting into food.
Food, yeah.
So for me, Italian food. Just to give you a quick 30-second intro on food. My family's in the restaurant business, so my father's a chef, my mom's a chef, and I grew up becoming a chef. I did some culinary school myself and get that up right away. So my favorite food to cook is obviously Italian food. If I got to be honest, if you look on Google, if you look anywhere, I love making very old school Italian dishes. So it's like pasta fagioli. I love making the pasta with the very thick rich tomato sauce with all the meat,
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Oh,
meatballs.
making me feel hungry now, I tell you.
Telling me. And I love making the old school Italian dishes. Like nothing beats a plate of spaghetti al dente with fresh tomatoes. Just fresh tomatoes and basil. You can't go wrong. You can never go wrong.
Well, when you come to Australia, if you ever come to Perth, you and Mary are going to be coming staying with us, all right? So,
not a problem, Stuey.
And then you're cooking, all right? So, Mary, make sure you organise that, all right?
As long as it doesn't turn into the hangover where I wake up with a tattoo across my face, I'm good.
No, but you will have, if it's up to me and Mary, you will have a tattoo somewhere.
As long as it's not a Mike Tyson type.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Or missing a tooth.
We'll just paint it black so you think you are.
No, I heard a lot of stories about Australia through yourself, through Gordon Hendricks, a very good friend of mine. He told me about how everybody is so amazing in Australia. And I had the pleasure of meeting so many people. The Elvis supporters from Australia, they came to Memphis. They came to Collingwood, and it's like we gelled right away.
Yeah.
So,
it's one big family, isn't it? Just
I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys all soon. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now, Vicky and Ron Moss has come on. What is the biggest highlights of your career?
The biggest highlights in my career in the last, let's say, 20 years, besides performing with Elvis's band members and friends and peers, and the contests are amazing highlights. The contests it's always a win. If it's big or small, it's always a win. And it always touches hearts. It always touches to your heart when something like that happens. But I think the biggest highlight in my whole career was during this COVID-19, being on the news for on the City Line, which is a global internews thing, performing for the buildings. To know that the response I got from the people living in the buildings, it touched my heart in so many ways. Another big highlight of my life was actually touring. We did 2 tours across Italy within 6 months. And that was another huge highlight in my career. But yeah, the biggest highlight I have is during this COVID-19 performing for the buildings.
Well, I've got another question here from Mary.
Oh,
That's
no.
my question to Bruno. Bring me to Australia. Bring me to Australia. And when? She's asking. And when?
And that's coming from who? Sorry, did I hear that?
Your fiance.
That's no good. As soon as we have things more scheduled, I'll be talking with you, Stuey. I'll be talking with my uncles and stuff like that. When we have it all set in stone, Mary, I will let you know.
Now we've got one more question from Millie Bolivar. Is anyone going to revive Collingwood?
Millie, I wish I can give you that answer. It's a shame that Collingwood failed. Not failed. It never failed. It's sad that the city decided to close it due to a money loss. But I'm hoping in the near future that something, if it doesn't happen in Collingwood, it'll happen at Blue Mountain, or because 90% of the stuff happened to Blue Mountain anyways. So I'm almost positive in my heart that in the near future it will come back, because everything always comes back. You release a bird, if it's meant to be, it's going to come back.
Yeah, that's right. And mate, when it comes back, I'm there. I'll tell you. It's one that's.
And at that point, there, you're going to come for 2 months, and you're going to stay at my house.
I am. That's right. Look, Bruno, that's all we've got time for the show today.
Sounds good to me, my friend.
Been absolutely amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow Bruno, please go onto his page, Bruno Nesci and the Dreamers Show Band. Please like his page there on Facebook as well. Please make sure you like that. Also, there is the other one as well, which is Bruno Nesci Di Bono. That is his actual Facebook page. So please feel free to friend request him. Obviously he's got not much room left, so he's too much of a big fan base. So it's
yeah, I was just about to say, for the Bruno Nesci Di Bono page, you could follow the page. It's gonna be sort of hard to friend request me because at this point I can't. During this COVID thing, my friend request spiked, and I can't accept anymore.
So follow, so legend.
But follow my
follow
Bruno
the page.
Streamers page, and you're going to hear from me exactly as much as you do from my personal page.
Yeah, that's right. So follow Bruno Nesci and the Dreamer Show Band. Check that out on Facebook, and then also follow the page, Bruno Nesci's personal page as well. That's him and Mary in the photo as well. So look, Bruno, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
I want to thank you.
No worries, no problem at all. No, it's been amazing. It's been good fun.
I really enjoyed myself this time. And Ted Torres, you know what? He's an awesome person. Just in case he's still watching, Ted, I had a great pleasure of doing some shows with him in the States at the Isle of Capri Casino. We did a whole show together. So Ted, you're always a very good and close friend of mine. Send me a message.
Thanks, Bruno.
Thank you, Stuey.
Take care, brother.
Give the wife a big kiss for me.
I will.
So congratulations on the show again. Ladies and gentlemen, take it from me. Follow this page. Follow Stuey. Like him. Chase him around if you have to. Before and after this COVID-19. The guy's too cute not to follow.
Stop it. Stop it.
Watch it every Friday. Watch it.
Thanks, Bruno. We'll talk to you soon, brother. All right, you take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, Stuey. Until next time.
All right. Take care, brother. Take care. That was Bruno Nesci, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing guy. Bruno, stay in the green room. We'll have a chat in a second. Just amazing guy. It's been absolutely amazing night. And just been fantastic fun. Now, as I said to you earlier, so that was Ted Torres first up, and we had Bruno Nesci. That's been an amazing show this week. As I said to you earlier on, we did have a special guest lined up, but unfortunately he could not come on the show due to different reasons. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people have asked me when I started out, because I'm an Elvis tribute artist myself. I only started out about 6 years ago now. So only very, not very long at all. But I had the love for Elvis and Shaking Stevens back when I was very young. Now that's me there at 8 years old doing the toe stand. That was in I think it was in my sister's bedroom. I had to do it, Bruno. I had to do it. That was in my sister's bedroom. I was dancing for my mum and my granddad. And we were just mucking around, and that's with a little microphone there and a little tape recorder. So that was actually, I had to show that to everyone. So I came across this photo today, and just everybody wanted to know when I started liking Elvis. I was 8 years old, and I started liking Elvis and Shaking Stevens back in the day. So I had to show it, I had to do it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of announcements as well. We had a special guest on the show tonight. Unfortunately, he could not make it. That special guest was Mr. Jeff Lewis. Jeff Lewis was coming on the show to promote this show here. This is the Elvis by Request Volume 4 free concert. That's in 2 p.m. Central Time. That starts, obviously, on Saturday, May the 16th, tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, and Sunday for Australia, obviously. So basically, the guys that are performing there, that's Dean Z, Ben Thompson, Cody Deanath, Jeff Lewis, obviously, Michael Carter, and Riley Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, there is donations they're asking for as well. If you can, if you can't, by all means, but please put your donations to Big Lou50 at yahoo.com. And then what's Bruno showing? Can I put that on screen, Bruno? Can I bring that up on screen? I'm gonna bring that up on screen. Here we go. What is he showing? Here we go. There's a young photo. Is that when you started?
That's the year I started, my friend.
He found the photo. There you go. There it is. That's the year he started, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put that online. I'm actually going to get a scan of that. Scan that for me and send it to me, Bruno.
Will do. I thought you showed yours. I had to show mine.
Mine was bigger. That's right. I'll talk to you in a minute, mate. All right. Thank you. All right, so as I was saying, Elvis by Request Volume 4 free concert. That's brought to you by Jeff Lewis and Friends. If you want to get in a request, put it into Jeff Lewis and Friends at gmail.com. Make sure you check that out. That's with, as I said to you earlier, Dean Z, Ben Thompson, Cody Deanoth, Jeff Lewis, Michael Cullether, and Riley Jenkins. We are going to be getting, obviously, Michael Cullether on the show in the future as well, and Riley Jenkins. Going to be getting those young guys on. As you know, we've got an action-packed show next week as well, which is fantastic. Now, just a couple of things as well, ladies. If you wish to donate to the Friday Night Live show, please do so on paypal.me/Friday Night Live show. Paypal.me/Friday Night Live show. If you do want to donate. And please, any amount does help. So, as Bruno and everyone was saying earlier, Ted was saying earlier, it's very, very hard nowadays for us to carry on with shows when there's no income. This is our full-time income. So I've obviously gone all out for everybody to watch this show, obviously, and put the show on. So any donation would help. Sponsorships are available. But if you can't, it's no problem at all. Just watch the show and please support me. Please like the page and so forth as well. If you do want to go on to check out my website as well, the website is www.thefridaynightLiveshow.com. It's got all the details on there, the history, the artists, photos, and it's being upgraded all the time. So I'm still in the process of updating a lot of things on the website, but please check it out. That's online, so do check that out as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to donate, now we had these scarves made. In March, we were supposed to have a benefit concert for my wife, Shelley. So we've got these scarves that we've got, SOS, which is support our Shelley. That's what it means. There you go, support our Shelley. Those are being sold. So if you do want one of those scarves, please send me a private message. They are $5 each, and postage is $2. So $7 each, and you can do that in PayPal. So I can send those to you. Gwen Robinson made those scarves, so thank you so much, Gwen, for making those. I really do appreciate it. We will be getting some Friday Night Live scarves being made as well, and then you guys can purchase those as well. So I've got plenty of those available as well. Now, next week's show. All right, this is going to be great fun. Now, let me get the right file up. Here we go. All right, next week's show. Friday, 22nd of May, 2020. 8 p.m. WA time. It's the same time as today's show. We're going to have it next week, all right? Same time as today's show. We have got Chris Connor live on the show and Cody Dionath live on the show. Two amazing artists. Chris Connor, this is his first live online interview. He doesn't do many live online interviews, so this is his first live online interview. Really looking forward to interviewing him and talking about his career. I saw him in London Palladium in 2012. When I was in the UK. Amazing artist, and just looking forward to doing that interview. I really am looking forward to that as well. And also got Cody Dionath. Coates is a multi-award winning true artist. He's travelled the world. He's an amazing artist. He was supposed to be at Viva Surfers Paradise this year. Unfortunately, Viva's been cancelled, so we unfortunately won't see him. So hopefully we see Coat next year when he does come in. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, next Friday is the same time as this week's show. WA time is 8 p.m, 10 p.m. Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria, 9:30 p.m. South Australia, New Zealand 12 a.m, UK 1 p.m, USA 8 a.m. So make sure you tune into the show for that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say a massive thank you once again to Ted Torres for coming on the show. A massive thank you to Bruno Nesci, a very, very close friend of mine, for coming on the show as well. I've got a lot of respect for him, and a lot of respect for these guys. They're amazing artists, and they've just taken the time to come on the show and chat about their career and everything as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. It's been amazing. It's been great fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. I will be sending a few updates through as well. Once again, a massive happy birthday to Jackie Bridges from New Zealand, my cousin Keely in the UK, and also to my nephew Jordan Rocher as well. His massive happy birthday to him tomorrow. So his birthday is actually tomorrow. So thank you so much. It's been an amazing night. Thank you. Good night. Take care. Love to all. Sending love. See you later. Sayonara.